This is WT for TST, and this evening I'm honoured to be joined by Brian the Lion Rose. How you doing, mate?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Long time no speak.
Yeah, it's been a while, mate.
So, what I want to do tonight, mate. Obviously, I know pretty much all your background. What I want to do is try and get that to across to the viewers. So, if you want to take us right back to the start, before you even started boxing, growing up, childhood, how you got into boxing, etc. Yeah,
Yep, yep.
go.
Um, so I was born in Birmingham, a place called Selly Oak. Not much happened there. All my family still live there, and in fact, a little fact: my cousin is Jolyon Lescott. Um, a lot of people don't know that, but yeah. But not much happened in Birmingham, and I moved to Blackpool when I was 8. Started boxing when I was 9. I was a bit of a mischievous kid, a little bit of a rascal. So my dad decided to take me to the gym to calm me down. It didn't calm me down that much, but we soon realised that I was a bit of a natural. So I had my first fight when I was 11, which I lost. I then went on to beat that lad 4 times after that, so I definitely improved. Um,
Got your own back.
yeah, definitely. I fought him in every Northwest final, and I beat him. And he must have been sick of seeing me because he was quite a good fighter, but he couldn't get past a certain stage because he kept bumping into me because he was only from Liverpool. But yeah, then I had my first fight when I was 11, and then by the age of 12, I was boxing for England. And then I boxed all over the world. You know, I won 7 national titles. Boxed captain England against Germany. I fought
England against Germany.
Yeah. Um,
Every
I,
boy's dream. Probably in
yeah,
football rather than boxing, though.
that's it. I know. Yeah, I'd have a bit more money.
But
And then I mean, I even fought as far as New Delhi in India, which was amazing. A great experience. And then I decided to turn pro when I was 20. Uh,
it's early to turn pro, isn't it?
yeah, it was a bit earlier. I mean, it was a little bit of a regret of mine at the time. I've got no regrets now, to be honest. But it was a regret at the time because, maybe there was a slight chance I could have got in the GB team and maybe gone for the Olympics. But we would have been 4 years, so I would have had to wait 4 years. So might never have won a British title, or might never have fought for a world title. So you can't regret things like that when I've achieved what I've achieved. I went on to achieve more than I ever dreamed of. So I'm definitely happy I turned pro when I did. I was young though, and I was young. I was immature. I was a bit of a late starter, so I was fighting men when I was still a boy, and that's what I struggled with at first. But as I grew and I matured, and I got used to the pro style, which I adapted quite well to, considering I was a good amateur. I'm definitely no regrets turning pro at 20 now.
So when did your friend, your coach, mentor, when did
Yeah.
Bobby Rimmer, when did he come into the fold? When did all that start?
Um, I moved. Well, I went to Manchester looking for different trainers. But obviously when I was 20, and basically I moved there that day. I didn't know I was going to move there that day, but I went to different. I went to Anthony Farnell's place like that. I mean, Crolla was at Anthony Farnell's. I think bellew was at Farnell's when I was there. Because I remember when I left, I went to put my shoes back on, and they put a load of cream in my shoes, taking the piss out of me. But obviously, I couldn't do anything to Tony Bellew, and Anthony Crolla's too nice to do anything to. So they got away with that one. But they done me a belter. They put a load of moisturiser in my trainers, brand new trainers as well. I was gutted. Anyway, that's probably why I didn't join there.
Yeah, well, you left me.
So it was like literally on my way out, and I bumped into this guy called Bobby, and he said to me, "Listen, I'm setting up a gym. It's going to take me 6 months to do. I had a sore shoulder at the time. I was just recovering from a shoulder operation, and he said, "Listen, it will take me 6 months for my gym to be sorted, but it's going to take you 6 months to get fit because you're injured. So why don't you? I've got a flat you can have. I know you skin, so skin at the time. I had nothing. I'd just I didn't even have a job. My missus was paying for my train fare to get there for years. So I thought, you know what an opportunity. I've got a rent-free flat, and I'm going to have it worked with like the likes of Ricky Hatton. So, you know, I wasn't just doing it because I thought he's going to look after me. I was doing it because I thought, you know what, I'm going to get trained by one of the best coaches, and I don't have to worry about needing money at first. So I rang Danielle. I was with Danielle at the time. She was 17. I was only 20. And I said, listen, I'm going to move to Manchester today. Is that all right? She went, yeah, of course it is. And then from then, not look back.
Just had to check with her if it was all right, mate, yeah.
Yeah, even when I was younger, she was still the boss.
I love it. So you've had some massive fights. Lonsdale belt holder. What's your favourite fight? Which has been your best fight? I watched one back the other day, right? So if you pick that, I'll talk you through some stuff that I never thought I would see.
Yeah, I've got three or four. Obviously, winning the British title, nobody thought I was going to win that fight apart from me and the people around me that believed in me. I'd sparred with Prince Allen a few months before, leading up to prize fighter. He won the prize fight, but I was his sparring partner for that. And it was just one of them things like, you know, when you've got someone's number, and I felt like I had his number when I sparred with him, and I just knew if I fought him. So I fought on the same bill as him when he fought Sam Webb. And after the fight, Kelly Maloney, she said to me, you know, would you fight Prince Aaron? I said, I'd fight him in 8 weeks. I'd just won the English title on that bill in Gillingham. I said, I'll fight him in 8 weeks, you know. And he said, right, I'll try and get you the fight. So I was fighting Eric Ochieng for the English. So I was going to defend my English title, and he managed to get me the fight. So I pulled out the Eric Ochieng fight for obvious reasons, and then fought him. And going into the fight, I knew I was going to win. Like I just knew that I had his number, and I knew I couldn't lose that fight. So when I won that fight, it was just an amazing win for me because everyone doubted me. So probably that. Carson Jones, the second one, that was career defining because if I'd have got beat that night, I was 100% retiring. I remember walking out with bags on my feet because it was raining and thinking, and before I walked out, I said to Bobby, he went, what's up with you? Because I must have been pale or I looked scared, and I went, Bobby, I'm shitting myself, mate. And he went, listen, you're going to do this and all that. And I just remember that moment of being, because listen, I'm good with nerves and I don't get scared. But that night I was scared, not of getting hurt or getting knocked out. I was scared of it being over because without boxing at that time, I wouldn't have known what to do.
The fight I was talking about was Carson Jones 1.
Yeah, the felt like, yeah.
But we'll come on to that a bit later because there's some bits.
The first Carson Jones, I was boxing unbelievable. I was blitzing him. I was absolute. It's not even me that, you know, I was trying to get him out of there. But yeah, that is another story. But yeah, so the Carson Jones, the second one, I literally put my life on the line. Honestly, I would have died in there to win that fight because I thought, you know what? I honestly think I would have beat most people in the world that night at my weight, or give it a right go anyway. He was hitting me with all sorts of shots, and I was just fucking taking him. And then the Maciel fight, that was the Argentinian. Everyone expected me to get beat that night. Finally eliminated for the world title. So it was like I was number 3 in the world. He was number 2 in the world. It was a massive fight, and he was heavy-handed. Everyone thought I was going to get beat. Again, I pulled it off. It was very close. Could have gone either way, and I admit that fight could have gone either way. You know, it depends what sort of work you liked, but that was a great night. I was pissing blood after that fight. Unbelievable. And then obviously it wasn't the best night for me, but it was definitely a night to remember. It was for the world title. You know, not many people can say they fought in New York at Barclays Center. You know, I had 100 fans there from Blackpool, you know, with tangerine flags, and it was just singing Seasiders. You know, it was an amazing experience, and just something that I can tell my kids about.
That's great, mate. I think the Andrade fight was, probably not nice watching from a fan point of view, from your point of view, but it led you on to different things, didn't it? So
Yeah,
like you said, not many people can sit there and say they fought for a world title.
No.
So I guess one of the questions that's come up is take yourself back to probably that Andrade fight. You're in the ring. The ring announcer announces you, however he does it. What's going through your mind at that point?
I was a rabbit in headlights that night. I'm not saying I would or could have ever won that fight, because he was just too good. Sometimes as a man, you've got to stand up and hold your hands up and say, you know what, just too good. But walking into the ring, mate, I'd never experienced this. Cameras were in my face, HBO. I was live on HBO. It was just a mad experience for me. And at the time, didn't really enjoy it. You know, I should have been enjoying it, thinking, you know what, I've got nothing to lose. But I put that much pressure on myself. I honestly went into that fight thinking I was going to win it. And I made everyone believe that I was going to win it as well, because I was in the shape of my life, the best I've ever felt. So I was prepared. I just flapped it. You know, I literally just froze. Whether that would have made a difference to the result is a different story. I don't think it would have done, but I certainly would have done better. Maybe took him the distance, or, you know, I got caught cold early on. And when he had me over in the first round, I never recovered. And the second shot he hit me with, I felt like a fucking bomb had gone off. I swear, man. My ears were ringing. I remember just being lay on the floor, opening my eyes, and the ref going, "Hey." I think, shit, I need to get up. And I walked back to the wrong corner. Oh, no, I walked back to, lucky enough, walk back to the right corner. But I could have walked back to any corner. If I'd have walked back to the wrong corner, the ref would have probably stopped it, because I didn't have a clue where I was.
The other thing as well, mate, is whenever your name comes up in boxing conversations, it's normally followed by one of the nicest guys in boxing.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Yeah, well, if you ask Anthony Crolla who the nicest lad is in boxing, he'll say me, and if you ask me, I say him. So it's nice to be compared to someone like Anthony Crolla, because he is genuinely a proper nice lad. But yeah, it's nice to know. Sometimes I'm too nice, and I've been I've been told that I'm too nice, and sometimes I've took it in the ring. But I'd much rather be the person I am than be fake and, you know, call people out and call them dickheads and call them tossers, and, you know, all that fight talk. You know, it probably would have got me more fights, and it probably would have got me bigger fights, but that's not me. So I'm never going to be that person.
Stay true to yourself, mate.
Yeah, especially if I started doing it now as well, I look like a bigger idiot because I've never done it.
Yeah, when you've never done it. Well, actually, about that, the bit that I was going to talk about earlier is when you totally lost your shit.
Yeah.
You know, after the premature stoppage, Carson Jones won. You're walking back through the changing rooms, kicking buckets, kicking stuff. Bobby struggling to calm you down. I guess the same question as before. What's going through your mind at that point?
Mate, I was just angry, and I was looking at someone to blame. People don't know this, but I actually apologised to him because he was judging on the second Carson Jones fight, and I went up to him ringside. I said, "You know what? I'm really sorry for it." And I know it's easy to apologise when I've won the fight, but I would have done it anyway. I was just waiting to see him because I was out of order. You know, I snapped with him, and I said a few bad things on Twitter about him. But I was just angry. I felt like it shouldn't have been stopped. But when I look back on it, I really struggled with the weight the day before. So if it hadn't been stopped that round, it would have been stopped a couple of rounds after, because there was nothing in me. And that's why I started so quick and needed to get him out of there, because there was nothing. I still had headaches that day through making weight the day before. I really struggled to make the weight. I did something wrong and just didn't do it properly.
So fast forwarding quite a bit now. So we've talked about 4 of your favourite fights. Moving forward to 2016, you opened the gym. How's that going?
It's good. Obviously, we've struggled through lockdown. We've been closed, and we've just recently opened up again because, but only for one-to-one. So we've got personal trainers paying a bit of a rent, but it's safer. You know, we're not doing classes. We just got PTs doing one-to-ones, and a lot easier to manage because I've not got to be there. You just give them a key, and they can just keep the gym tidy and sort it themselves, sort of thing. So, in terms of being at home more, doing my own training because I'm still training. We've done well. You know, we're 4 years in, so to have a business after 4 years, you must be doing something right. So we're doing okay.
Yeah, spot on, mate. Right, so so what's next then? So I've heard a few names, yeah, but what's next for you? Who do you want?
Well, I agreed to the Fitzgerald fight twice, and he pulled out twice. I know he's struggling mentally. I've heard he's got problems. So I wish him all the best. I've never said a wrong word about it, even when he pulled out, because I know people struggle with mental health issues, and I've heard that that he has got problems. So I wish him all the best, getting well. But in a way, that did kind of mess me up because I was fit to fight him, and then obviously Fowler's ready for anyone. He just steps in the last minute at 4 weeks' notice, and he just knocked me. You know, I was doing so well in training, and then when obviously Fitzgerald pulled out, mentally I just lost it. You know, it's Blackpool Preston is absolutely huge. People don't understand it unless you're from around here, but it's such a big fight, and one that was gaining so much interest. And when he pulled out, he just knocked me. So I mean, no excuses. Fowler, a good fighter, but wouldn't have stood a chance against me 5 years ago. Not a chance. He just got me at the right time. But every credit to him. Like I say, he is a good fighter, but like I say, just got me at a good time. In terms of going forward, Marcus Morrison's called me out. I'm always getting called out because they want the scalp on the record. So
the lion, mate.
Everyone knows what I'm like. I will literally fight anyone for the right money, and not just fight them. I'll get in and give it a right go. You know, I'll do a 12-week camp, or I'll go away for 15 weeks till I'm 35 with 3 kids, but I'll still go away and do it properly. You know, I'm not in it just for the money. I'm in it because I believe I'll still win these fights. So, I'll fight anyone at 12 weeks' notice, even now. So, to ask me who I want to fight, I literally fight anyone for the right money.
Would you go away to the US again? Because on one of your last training camp, what was Quinton the Rampage Jackson? What was that like training with him?
Yeah, I mean it's surreal, isn't it? Not many people can say they've done that, but babe.
Picking this back up, Bri. Right, you were talking about the UFC, or at least training over there.
Yeah, I mean, but Bobby, my coach, he got the job of training Rampage Jackson. He was his boxing coach. So as it went on, he said, listen, you're struggling to get fit here, get motivated. You've got kids, you know, would you come to America for 8 weeks? I said, yeah, you know, I'll do what it takes to get fit. So I went there. It was probably, it's only the age, because of my age. I know I'm not the fighter that I once was, but I know I've still got enough in me to beat some of these kids that are calling me out, because some I don't fancy, I must admit, but I still do it. But yeah, so I went there, and it was the best experience of my life. We were living at his house. My son come over for a week. He's my son's idol. You know, he loves him. Lived there for 8 weeks, and I got into the shape of my life, and it's probably the best decisions I've ever made to go there and get fit and come back and fight. You know, I had a 6-rounder. I had a 6-rounder, won it, and then obviously jumped. I got the Fitzgerald fight. He pulled out, and I fought Fowler.
So would you do that again for the next camp?
If I got offered it, yeah. I mean, we could do that if we wanted to, yeah. But for me, I'd have to get a fight first. I went over there the first time without any sort of fight date. So with the things that are going on at the moment, with no crowds, and I don't know when I could fight. So for me, I can't afford to go away. I don't mean financially. I mean, I can't afford to be away from my kids for 12 weeks and not get a fight at the end of it. Yeah. It's just not worth it for me. I'd have done that when I was younger. I'd have done that for a year if I had to, but I'm just not at the age now where I can miss out on the kids' lives. Like I've missed too much of the lives.
Right, mate. Just to finish up, really, I normally finish these with a few questions from the followers, which can be really interesting, and some of them in previous ones have been really weird. Yours aren't too bad, to be fair. So Jason wants to know, what's been your lowest... We've talked about a lot about the high points. What's been your lowest point in boxing?
Probably the year that I had when I won my first title. It was a Central Area title against Jason Rushton. And he ended up falling into a coma after the fight. Strange fight. Like, I was hitting him with heavy shots throughout the fight, and then the last round, I hit him with two shots at the back of the ear, and then one on the top of his head, and he went down limp. And I thought, yeah, that's not like him. I've been hitting him with heavy shots, and anyway, I stopped him with about 5 seconds to go in the fight, and we had the decision. As he's walking back, he's collapsed in front of me. He had an operation. He actually died on the spot, but they brought him back to life. And I went to see him. And most boxers, like Tyson, they don't give a fuck. Do you know what I mean? Like, they just see it as a job. But I'm not like that. He had a family, he had kids, and I felt so bad. And then it took me a year to finally get back in the ring, build my confidence. And I got knocked out myself by Max Maxwell, someone that shouldn't have even hit me. Just because I just didn't want it to happen to me. I was scared. And then I went to see I was probably one of the first boxers to come out and go and see a psychologist, a sports psychologist. She helped me so much. She made me realise that it wasn't my fault. It's my job. And if I'm going to carry on, then I need to get over it. Otherwise, it's dangerous for me. So yeah, that was definitely that year. I can't remember what year it was. I've been punched in the head too many times. That is definitely a year that I'd love to be able to forget.
Be like 2020, yeah.
yeah. That's not been too bad for me though, mate. Because I've had a bit of a drink and had a bit of a party for the first time in my life.
Right, two more, mate. Alex wants to know, who was the harder fight, Andrade or Macklin? I think I know this one, but
the Andrade fight, he became my manager after that, so it's an awkward conversation than the Macklin one because I felt like I won the fight, and a lot of people said that I won the fight, but he believes he won it, and he's my mate. Like I say, after that fight, I signed with MTK, and he was my manager. I went to meet him in Marbella 2 weeks later. So, definitely Andrade is the best boxer I've been in with, but not the toughest fight. The Maciel fight was tougher because I had to grind it out. I was getting hit with bigger shots, whereas he got it over with. Whereas Maciel, I was digging deep. So them fights where you've got to dig deep and they go all the way and you're pissing blood afterwards, and that they're the fights that are harder. But yeah, Andrade.
So the last one then involves him again. We've talked about him a lot, actually. Reggie wants to know if Andrade fights Billy Joe, who wins?
I'm not just saying this here, but I think Billy Joe wins purely. The hands are the same, the way they throw the punches, the way they drop the hands, same sort of style. But Andrade uses a lot of lean backs, holds his feet a lot. Billy Joe Saunders' footwork is unbelievable. So the difference between them two is Billy Joe Saunders' footwork, and he'll win that fight purely because his feet are better. So Billy Joe Saunders, and I've said that for years.
Right, mate. I think he's great. He's one of the best.
Yeah, I just like to see him get these big fights. It seems like every time he's getting these fights, something's happening. I mean, he gets blamed for it, but there's obviously no fighter is scared of another fighter. if you're a real boxer, you're not scared of fighting anyone. So there must be a reason why these big fights are happening. It's ruining boxing in a way, because these fights should be happening between like Joshua, Tyson Fury. They've got to happen.
I mean, that's the fight that everyone's talking about, isn't it? AJ.
Yeah.
Fury. Who wins that?
I think Tyson Fury, 100%. I just can't see him getting beat. I can't. But yeah, like I say, it'll be a tragedy if these fights don't happen. Like Kell Brook, Amir Khan was a tragedy. That fight's never going to happen. A fight that we all should have been able to see, and just such a shame these fights aren't happening.
Right, mate. Unless you've got anything else, that's it. Anything for the viewers? Anything you want to say?
Yeah, just thanks for tuning in, and if you've got any other questions, just drop me a message on Instagram and I'll answer them for you. And did you really lose that hair because of your children?
Yeah. The hairline, 3 girls, mate, does it to you? Why are you? You're so nice off camera. Why'd you do that to me now? Yeah, I did. I could blame my granddad, I guess, for the sweet. I couldn't do it, mate. Do you know what it was? Literally, I went to the course one day and I had the windows down, right? And I put the. My wife said, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, me hair." And then that same thing, we went to one of the. My wife and one of the daughters went onto the beach, right? And I went up with. We only had 2 girls at that point. Went up to get some chips and stuff. Walked back down. As soon as it was safe to let go of her hand, I had the chips and I had my mate. Yeah. Next day, all gone, mate. Happy. I'm happy with it. I'm comfortable.
Yeah, mate, it looks good. It suits you.
They call me. The girls call me up. You know, on when you were a kid, when you used to play Guess Who, upside down head. Right, mate. I should have stopped recording before then. Right. Thank you very much. Catch up soon, yeah?
Yeah, cheers, pal.
Top man.
Thank you. Bye. Yeah.